and welcome to Mpishi. On today's plate we are going to be doing some pizza. So to do that we are going to start with our dough. To make our dough we need some sugar, some yeast, about a tablespoon of yeast, and some warm water. We are going to soak the yeast for about 5 minutes until it blooms, and then we're gonna come back to it. So at this point we're gonna put it aside and wait for it to bloom. Once it's like that, it bubbles, you know it's good. Add some olive oil, add some garlic. That is optional, you can go without it. I like garlic taste in bread, so I added some garlic. And then we are going to add our flour a little bit at a time. I put a little too much, so just go a little bit at a time. It's easier to add than to take off. Stir it in. At this point it was pretty thick, so I had to start using my hands and to knead it and put it together. Forgot to add some salt, so add some salt over there, or you can add it to the water after the yeast blooms. Keep adding water until you get your desired consistency. In this dough I used about 6-7 cups of flour, but you just make as much as you need or as little as you need depending on how much pizza you want to make. I wanted to do 2, so this was the right amount of dough. So you just knead your dough for about 10 minutes until it all comes together. Keep adding or water if it's too thick, or add flour if it's too soft. I added some flour. Always clean up your sides as you go to make sure nothing is stuck in the bowl. Knead. At this point I think I knead it for about 10-12 minutes. At this point it was ready, so I had to clean up my hands. And then we're gonna add some oil. Knead it a little bit for like a minute. Make sure it's all together and your bowl is clean, nothing is stuck to the bowl. And then cover it with a damp kitchen cloth, or use some cling foil, or just use the cover. If your bowl comes with a cover, you can use a cover to, you know, cover it. So I used some cling foil or cling film. And then you put it in a warm place and let it double in size. As you can see, this is about an hour later. It was already doubled in size and actually spilling over, so you're gonna punch it down. There you go. And then start assembling your pizza. Our pizza today, we're gonna be doing a chicken and cheese, and then we're gonna do a meat lovers, and we are going to do a veggies only. It is what everybody asked for. Some don't eat veggies, some don't care for chicken, some don't care for meat, so we had to make everybody happy. So get your knife. If it's the dough is sticking to your hands, just put some oil on your hands, cut it up, and then spread it on your pan. Just keep stretching it until it covers the whole entire bottom of the pan, and make sure it's the same width, the same thickness. If it's sticking to your hands, again, just get your cooking spray and spray it, or get some oil, put some oil over it, and just keep stretching and making sure it is even all around and it's touching every corner of the pan. It keeps pulling back, but keep stretching it and stretching it and stretching it until it stays how you want it to stay. You can use a circular pan, you can use a square pan, you can use any kind of pan you want. This is what I had, so this is what we used. So at this point we are going to blind bake the dough for about 5 minutes before we put our ingredients on it. So to blind bake you need to put some paper, like a parchment paper on top, and then you're gonna weight it down. You have to put a weight on it, so you can use any type of dry cereal you have in your house. We had rice, so I used rice. You can use lentils, you can use peas, you can use beans, you can use corn, you can use any kind of cereal, dry cereal. And after you use it, you can cook it, obviously. So just keep it aside for next time you're gonna blind bake anything. So parchment paper, put it on top, then pour some rice or beans or lentils or any kind of cereal you have over it. This keeps your dough from pulling back together as it bakes, making sure it stays in shape. It is gonna pull regardless, because I mean, it's a cooking process, everything shrinks, but it's not gonna be as much as if you just put it in the oven without weighting it. And this process is called blind baking. So we're gonna put it in the oven for about 5 minutes. Let's go. I don't know what I was talking about there, but I was busy saying something. So at this point, your oven is preheated at 350 degrees. And then we're gonna get the other pan. On this pan is pretty big, and no, it's not dirty. It is pre-loved, it is clean, it is safe. So don't come for me and go like, oh, your pan. No, it's clean, trust me. But it's like the oldest pan we own, and it does the job. Repeat the process again. Just keep stretching your dough. See, we made a hole over there. We're gonna patch it before we start, before we put it back in the oven. Just keep stretching your dough until you're satisfied with the width or thickness of your dough, and you know, the shape you're actually looking for. So stretch, stretch, stretch. It is dough, so it's still gonna start, it's gonna keep shrinking or going back, or whatever you call that process. So stretch it until you get your desired. Patch your holes if you get any holes. If you get holes, that's fine, it's okay, it's allowed, it's fine. At that point, again, parchment paper, we're gonna blind bake. So add some rice or beans or lentils or corn or whatever other dry cereal you have in the house, and put it in the oven, and we blind bake only for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, they are ready to start assembling. So we're going to take them out the oven. So we don't want to continue cooking it, and we're still going to keep our oven preheated to the 350. So just keep the other one on the side while you start working on one. This is the one we use to make the chicken and cheese. So we're gonna, and this one we did the Alfredo sauce. So we didn't use the red sauce as, you know, as it is usual for pizza. This one, since, you know, it's white, we wanted to keep it all white. So we used the Alfredo sauce, and it's just as good as the red sauce. After that, we're gonna layer with, you know, cheese, and this is just pizza cheese. And then we're gonna layer our chicken. This is a rotisserie chicken that, you know, bought and shredded. We're gonna layer it, and we're gonna use up the whole entire chicken. So this was a whole chicken. Well, not really a whole chicken. The kids ate bits and pieces here and there as I was shredding it, but this is one rotisserie chicken. We're gonna layer it with some mozzarella cheese, and we also added some Velveeta white. I forget the brand of it, but it's Velveeta. It melts beautifully and it tastes absolutely amazing. So we added a little bit of that. And at this point, it is done. So we're going to put it back in the oven. It was hot. I couldn't find one of my, you know, gloves. So I used a kitchen towel and a glove and put it back in the oven. While that starts, we are going to get our other one started. Get your rice off. If you get some rice in there, that's okay. It's just rice. It's it's okay, it's fine. So this one we were doing half and half, half veggie and Alfredo, and have red sauce and meat. So one half was gonna be Alfredo and one half was gonna be the red sauce, and this is homemade. So we cooked the sauce on the stove in the pan for a while to just make sure we don't have the bitter tomatoey taste that usually tomato sauces have. This point we're gonna add our cheese. Almost added the sausage. At this point we realized we needed more cheese, so we're gonna open another bag of cheese. At this point we are gonna add the cheese, and that was enough. We are going to add our sausage. This was Italian sausage, pre-cooked, and then we removed the skins and sliced it thinly. Then we added salami on top of that, and kind of created a border with the salamis to see, you know, how far the meat lovers goes and where the veggie starts. Again, we're gonna layer with a mozzarella and a Velveeta. Just add the cheese on there. You need, the more the cheese the better. Everybody loves cheese around here, so added all that. Then we're gonna do the veggies. So we're gonna start with our tomato. Just put that down. And then we're gonna add our peppers and onion. We had red pepper, green peppers, yellow peppers, and white onion. Then we are going to add our cheese. Spread it out, because when it melts it spreads. And then add the Velveeta and find a spot to just add all that cheese. Make sure everything is used up. So whatever remains, just find a spot for it in there, and that is it. We were supposed to add the spinach on the side of the veggies. I don't know what happened. Somehow that got forgotten, so we forgot to add the spinach on there, but it was just as good. Put it in the oven, and we baked for about 30 minutes. This is the chicken and cheese. Look how beautiful. And then this was a half and half, half veggies, half meat, and they are all ready to eat. At this point we slice and we serve and we enjoy. This was so good. Everybody had their own different favorites. The kids loved the chicken. The grown-ups couldn't decide between the meat and the chicken, but I can tell you that the chicken, we didn't have much left after, but we had enough meat and veggies left. We really thoroughly enjoyed this pizza. It's so easy, so fast, so convenient. The only thing that takes a long time is actually the dough, because you have to be patient with it and you have to let it rise for like an hour. So if you're gonna make the pizza, just do the dough, go do your things, and then come back to it later. And that was that. Thank you for watching. See you next time.